People have heard the name Azazel if they've read the book of Enoch, and they've heard about the wilderness goat in Leviticus, but they've never connected the two. And once you do, the structure gets heavy fast. Because Azazel isn't just some fallen being with a strange name attached to him. He's functioning as the wilderness goat figure. And that matters because Leviticus isn't a random ritual. The Day of Atonement has structure. One goat is for Yahuwah. One goat is sent away into the wilderness bearing the burden of defilement and removal. The second figure is about expulsion, separation, and carrying corruption out from the camp. Now, look at Enoch. Azazel is singled out, not just generically condemned, but isolated. He's identified. He's blamed for teaching corruption, warfare, seduction, and the polluting arts. And then what happens to him? He's bound and sent away into the wilderness, buried under rough stones, shut off in the desert place until the final judgment. And that's not accidental imagery. That's atonement structure. The corrupting force is identified. The guilt is attached. The pollution isn't allowed to remain in the holy sphere, and the offender is removed to the wilderness. And that's why this matters so much. It means the Watcher judgment isn't just a punishment story, it's a cleansing story. The earth had been polluted, blood had cried out, the order had been corrupted, and in response, heaven doesn't just lash out emotionally, heaven acts liturgically, structurally, and covenantally. And the one associated with pollution and transmission of corruption is cast out into the wilderness zone. That's Azazel. And once you see that, Leviticus opens wider too. The wilderness goat isn't just an obscure ritual detail buried in Torah for priests to think about. It's part of a much older cleansing grammar. Removal matters. Separation matters. Pollution can't remain near the holy center, and defilement has to be carried out. And that's what people miss now. They want forgiveness with no removal, atonement with no expulsion, cleansing with no separation from what polluted the space in the first place. But the structure says otherwise. What corrupts must be named, what defiles must be removed, and what pollutes can't stay in the camp and pretend peace has been restored. And that's why Azazel is such a terrifying figure. He's not just judged as a rebel, he's handled as contamination. And that should preach, because a lot of people say that they want holiness while dragging defilement into the center and asking Yahuwah to bless it. And that's not how the structure works. The holy center is preserved by removal as much as by offering. So when you see Azazel cast into the wilderness, you're seeing the dark mirror of atonement. The corrupter is identified, the pollution is attached, and the wilderness receives what the holy order rejects. And that's not a myth for myth's sake. That's covenant cleansing logic at cosmic scale. And if that's true, then atonement is much bigger than ritual. It's the declaration that holiness isn't restored by pretending corruption never happened. It's restored by judgment, removal, and cleansing. And Azazel is a wilderness goat figure because he embodies what must be driven away for the order to be clean again.